T20 World Cup to be played in Pakistan this Tuesday. We now take a look at the news in detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has deployed 4 ambassadors who will represent the country in the United States of America, the United Arab Emirates, South Africa and Cuba, with a mandate to improve trade relations high on the agenda.
The envoy's ambassador, David Hamadzeripi, who will represent Zimbabwe in the United States of America, Ambassador Isaac Moyo, deployed to the United Arab Emirates, Ambassador Lafmo Mazemo heading to South Africa, and Ambassador Patrick Mutasa, who is going to Cuba, were at State House in Harare this Monday to receive briefing from the head of state before their departure for foreign mission. The ambassadors are confident they will make a huge impact in improving bilateral relations between Zimbabwe and other countries, with the country's economic thrust under the spotlight.
My mission is to see an improvement in the relations between Zimbabwe and the United States of America. We are going to pursue a relationship that is beneficial, a relationship that is respectful, a relationship that is going to bring benefits to both our nations.
We got very clear instructions about the kind of national interest we must work for, and we all understood what it is about. It is really the economy, and the economy.
It is an important country, and we will do our best to build on what our predecessors have done to make sure that we deepen our relations. We continue to get investors from that country, and our commodities, our exports continue to enjoy a good share of the South African market.
They are very good in the area of health, where we think we need to work on that. There are agreements that have been signed in the area of manufacturing of vaccines for both humans and animals. That has not. The agreements are still largely on paper. So as I go to Cuba, those are some of the areas that I'm going to work on.
The envoys are expected to push government's engagement and re-engagement agenda as the country pursues the friend to all and enemy to none philosophy. Bruce Chawanda, SABC News, State House.
Peaceway Jaminika has joined us on sign language. Welcome, Peaceway. We now carry on with the bulletin. The recent upgrading of relations between Zimbabwe and Zambia to a binational commission has been hailed as a masterstroke in efforts to develop the two nations.
It's truly a new season between the relationship between Zambia and the Republic of Zimbabwe. The recent visit by President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia underscores this new season of closer relationship. The President of the Republic, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, said, we need to be transparent, open, and discuss everything that affects our two countries so that our people can develop together.
Your visit comes against the backdrop of SADC's determination to accelerate industrialization through value addition and beneficiation of our rich natural resource endowments. The region's collective resolve to address pertinent challenges such as infrastructure gaps and climate change-induced shocks form a critical background to this visit. As we meet, therefore, we have a broader responsibility, not only in respect of our two nations, but in the context of our regional as well as continental aspirations. In this regard, I commend our officials for timeously concluding the binational commission agreement, which has made it possible for us to convene this inaugural session.
Zimbabwe-Zambia political relations are excellent, and the recent visit to Zimbabwe by President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia gave a boost to those relations. We managed to catch up with Dr. Augustine Dirivangana in the capital, who walks us through on this new trajectory and walks us through what this whole visit entails. Doc.
Zimbabwe is Zambia's route to the Indian Ocean. It's one of the easiest routes to the Indian Ocean. So when we talk about the trade, the movement of minerals from Zambia, particularly copper, is enhanced through the Zimbabwean borders. First, the Zimbabwean-Zambia border at Chirundu, which I'm happy the two principals, His Excellency the President and the President of Zambia, have actually said it should actually be further enhanced so that we've got a one-stop shop. Trucks from the Zambian side need not be stopped. Same applies to the trucks from the Zimbabwean side. That means that the economic ties or relationships are being more and more nuanced and developed. So that's a huge development. So besides the trade routes, we also talk about the dam which we share, which is the Kariba Dam. It feeds Zambia with electricity, it feeds Zimbabwe with electricity. So when we have a situation where the two countries work together in order to develop and further empower the Kariba Dam facility, that is a huge impact on the economy of both the countries.
So trade between the two countries, there is a one border post at Chirundu, and now Victoria Falls is now a 24-hour border post, and this has to be enhanced by collaboration on a number of issues. We are looking at a railway line from Lionsden to Kafue in Zambia. We are also looking at a pontoon crossing the Zambezi at Kanyemba into Luangwa. So the relationship between Zambia and Zimbabwe is solid.
Rail trade is one of those areas where Zimbabwe and many SADC countries have been, minus South Africa, many SADC countries are a bit on the law. Now, that is a huge initiative because for the moment we link Zambia by rail, just as we link it by air and by road, that will compound the rate of economic development of both countries. So I think it's a major achievement.
This is where Kenneth Kaunda and Julius Nyerere meet, iconic liberation war heroes of this region. Ruben Barwell, ZBC News, Harare.
The rehabilitation of the Bulawayo-Victoria Falls Road is continuing with contractors on the ground and civil works ongoing.
As you can see in the background, the rehabilitation of the Bulawayo-Victoria Falls Road is continuing. In line with the government's mantra of leaving no one and no place behind, the Bulawayo-Victoria Falls Road remains one of the high-priority infrastructure projects wholly funded by the Treasury. This Monday, the ZBC News crew toured the sections of the road and witnessed ongoing compacting works in the Hwange South mining area, among other road works. The motoring public has expressed appreciation for the progress being made.
I'm from Mozambique, but I like coming by drive. Then when the road is fine, that means we can come more frequently.
It's going to take so short time to come to see Victoria Falls.
Don't need to buy more space just because the road will be okay. And otherwise, less time from maybe Bulawayo to Vic Falls.
It will be easy for us to move, no potholes, no breakdowns. Our trucks will be fine, we won't have many problems.
So ukuhambeka kuhle siyanxisa sasebenzisa amadito alungisiwe la ukuthi sihambe kuhle ngale besalungisa umgwaqo.
Ukulungiswa komgwaqo kuzasincedisa kakhulu ukuhamba lula. Besithatha isikhathi eside ukuyafika eVictoria Falls lapha.
Karungiswa umgwaqo. Mota jimkwenda siboda akuchina utenga ama-shocks.
Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development, Honorable Felix Mona, told ZBC News recently that this road should be completed by mid-2026, that is from Bulawayo up to Victoria Falls.
Maybe that the strategy that we then adopted in the ministry was to divide the entire 440 kilometers, focusing mainly between Bulawayo and Vic Falls, where each contractor is having about 51 kilometers. And I'm happy that we deployed the first 5 contractors working on the detours, and today we are witnessing part of this section being opened to traffic, and also the other 3 contractors have joined, meaning that the 8 contractors are working on the entire stretch.
It is also a vital link that connects Bight Bridge up to Victoria Falls, enhancing trade and commerce. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Wange.
While still on road infrastructure development, civil works on the Bulawayo-Nkayi road are progressing well, with another 6 kilometers having been opened to traffic.
The Second Republic burns midnight oil to upgrade the country's road network. The Bulawayo-Nkayi road is showing steady progress amid ongoing rehabilitation works. A combined 11 kilometers have so far been opened to traffic, much to the delight of road users.
Siyajabula kakhulu. Siyajabula sibili njengembubi. Siyabona ukuthi umbuso kaBaba uPresident hayi uyasisekela lathi njengembubi kakhulu. Ngoba umgwaqo khathesi usumuhle okunye okumangalisayo njalo iphesi yokulungiswa uyahamba kusafana lakuqala.
With works progressing on the road, another contractor is working on the Kwekwe-Nkayi Lupane road.
Kwekwe-Nkayi Lupane section, starting from the Lupane end, the contractor is still doing earthworks. He started doing subgrade, and on subgrade is now covered about 5 kilometers. Then on base 3 is currently at 2 kilometers.
Matabeleland North Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Richard Moyo, says a timely disbursement of funds has been key.
Yalungiswa sithanda ukumbonga uPresident ubaba Idi Mnangagwa le Second Republic ngoba imigwaqo yethu ibisi ku bad state kakhulu uBulawayo Victoria Falls Road, uBulawayo Nkayi Road bese kume kubi, but kathesi uBulawayo Vic Falls Road lama contractors angu 7 kuyasetshenzwa, then iBulawayo Nkayi Road lama contractors angu 2, then kulo contractor osukela Lupane Nkayi Kwekwe la ground kuyasetshenzwa.
Matabeleland North is a tourism province which requires connectivity for the country to reap foreign currency from the sector.
Gold production between January and October this year reached 37 tons in a development that places the country within striking distance of the 40-ton target.
Latest figures show that gold deliveries stood at 37 tons, earning the country over $1.9 billion United States dollars between January and October this year. The yellow metal also contributed more than 70% of the country's foreign currency receipts. This performance also comes as global prices remain firm, with the latest price this Monday standing at around 4,000 United States dollars per ounce, a trend that has strengthened the ZiG through expanding gold reserves. Experts attribute the strong output to improved compliance, increased deliveries by small-scale miners, and enhanced policy stability.
We've got 2 things working for the country. The gold price, I think it is at an unprecedented rates of above $4,000 an ounce. And the other part is the small-scale miners. If you look at the contribution for the small-scale miners, we are looking at above 50% contribution. So that is helped to get Zimbabwe onto the trajectory on where it is.
Sustained growth will depend on continued capital injection, modernization of operations, and fresh investments into the sector.
Zimbabwe has exceptional geology, an educated workforce, and a mining sector with very, very strong growth potential. The momentum in the industry right now makes this an ideal time to showcase the opportunities. We hope to see new partnerships formed, new ideas shared, and an increase in confidence.
As gold deliveries continue to improve and reserves expand, authorities remain optimistic that the country will surpass its annual production target while boosting the value of the local ZiG currency. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe is taking part in the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme plenary sessions in the United Arab Emirates, where global diamond industry stakeholders are discussing ways to ensure that the trading in diamonds remains largely conflict-free.
Zimbabwe is one of the members of the Kimberley Process, a UN-backed initiative aimed at validating and regulating the production and trading of diamonds in the aftermath of diamond proceeds being used to fund the conflicts by armed groups especially on the African continent. Zimbabwe is participating at the plenary sessions here in the United Arab Emirates, and the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Winston Chitando, is leading a government delegation in order to ascertain ways of maintaining its certification.
This is the end of the year meeting, which reviews work which has been taking place during the course of the year, and it's a decision-making meeting. So it's a very important meeting. Now, there are obviously a number of issues which are always ongoing in terms of the performance of the Kimberley process, and also in terms of overseeing the regulations which are taking place. And obviously, where necessary, calling members to order and to make sure that the membership conforms to the ethos of the Kimberley process. The ongoing discussion over the last few years is an issue of the definition of conflict diamonds, where there is, I think, it is accepted that the definition has to be revisited.
Over the years, Zimbabwe has created a robust diamond industry, with the state-owned Zimbabwe Consolidated Diamond Company producing around 6.5 million carats of diamonds annually, despite the local industry facing its fair share of challenges. This week's meetings are intended to harness Zimbabwe's participation on the global diamond market. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Dubai.
Power utility company Zesa Holdings says it now awaits a cabinet approval on its deal with Indian company Jindal that will see the refurbishment of Hwange units 1 to 6, a deal worth an investment of 455 million United States dollars expected to be implemented on a 15-year rehabilitate, operate and transfer arrangement, according to Zesa Group CEO, Engineer Clopas Nyachowe. The project is expected to restore units and a combined capacity of 920 megawatts, boosting the total power station output to 1,500 megawatts, which will significantly reduce load shedding.
They've got rights to refurbish the asset, operate it, and then we share the revenues. So we are sharing revenues, not profit. So this is where we are reducing our risk. They are taking over all the operational expense and all the capex that's going to happen for that period. And then at the end of the period, you hand back the asset and staff. It's been a very tough negotiation. So we've got experts from ZESA and then the government at various levels, the ministry, the Attorney General's office and so forth. So that agreement has gone quite far, but obviously the last view comes from Cabinet. They will have to give us a go-ahead that everything, there's been some fine-tuning that has been happening to say, why do you share revenue like this so that the country benefits more? So once that is sealed, we then look at taking out units one by one, the 6 units. And the envisaged period is 48 months. The limitation, they could do it faster, but the limitation is that we can only give them 1 machine at a time. But if we're able to give 2 machines, then we would actually cut down the period.
The local media has been implored to tell the Zimbabwean story and promote economic development.
This Monday, the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jennifer Mswere, was the guest of honor at the launch of Radio 3000, which is an online platform owned by Jester Media Services. In his address, Dr. Mswere challenged the media to come up with stories which promote national development.
The licensing framework in the new dispensation under the leadership of President E.D. Mnangagwa is giving us an impetus for us to be able to leave no one and no place behind as we journey towards an upper middle income society with a well-informed and knowledgeable population in our country. The success that we've witnessed in terms of the liberalization of the media sector speaks to the growth of the economy that continues on a positive trajectory. And as we journey towards an upper middle income society, we should always ensure that we also broadcast in all our 16 officially recognized languages in terms of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, so that we ensure that each and every Zimbabwean has a role to play as we create and work together to rebuild our economy.
The minister also highlighted the government's continued efforts to transform the media industry.
The role that Jester Media Services continues to play is in line with the first integrated media policy launched by President Mnangagwa, which speaks to digitalization, which speaks to economic sustainability of the media sector, which speaks to local promotion and production of content from Zimbabwe, for us to be able to tell our own stories with brevity, with diction, with analysis, and with ethical thinking.
Jester Media Services Broadcasting Division Managing Director Mr. Zweli Sibanda applauded the Second Republic for opening the airwaves.
This comes amid the growth of podcasts in Zimbabwe. I think we all agree this is a very growing and important area of dissemination of information. And around the world, it is the same, suggesting a significant appetite for on-demand audio content in the country, which Radio 3000 will seek to capitalize on.
The ZBC News crew also had an opportunity to visit the Simpepa's digital super deck with the company's group acting editorial executive, Mr. Elias Mambo, highlighted the importance of the digital transformation.
We feel it is time because we're in the digital era right now. So as you have been going around, you have seen that a digital newsroom consists of a super desk where all the decisions are taking place. Right now, anything that happens at government level, you see that it's more digital. They are no longer doing these physical payment systems and the like. So what we are saying here is that we need to respond to what the government is doing. And we need to tell this actual story in real time.
By aligning content with the country's developmental aspirations, the media can become not just a watchdog, but also a nation builder, fostering unity, transparency, and inclusive participation in the national discourse. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The Visiting African Peer Review Mechanism panel of eminent persons has been impressed by Zimbabwe's coordinated internal government systems, identifying it as an essential driver for development across all levels.
During an interaction with legislators at the Parliament building in Mount Hamden, the African Peer Review Mechanism, APRM team, highlighted the effectiveness of Zimbabwe's governance architecture, noting its alignment with legislative frameworks and its impact on development coordination across provinces.
You people, you keep on surprising us with everything that is new, that you have succeeded in implementing as joint projects with some of the development partners, attending to the needs of the people, wherever they are. So the slogan that nobody should be left behind and no place should be left behind, we have seen it with our eyes.
Legislators indicated that the engagement enhances their institutional capacity and strengthens parliamentary oversight on national development programs.
We are here as an oversight body that we are going to be doing oversight on what the executive is actually doing in terms of economic governance and economic transformation, because the executive will undertake the economic activities in the journey to transform our economy towards Vision 2030.
The ongoing review mission is being viewed as a critical instrument to assess progress and promote self-reflection as Zimbabwe continues to implement its development agenda.
We have the honor of meeting with the chairpersons of parliamentary portfolios who are very critical in this process of review under the economic governance and management.
The main principles behind the APRM are to self-assess, to showcase what we think we are doing well, and to provide a platform where we can learn from good practices by others.
The APRM delegation is in the country as part of its targeted review process, focusing on the country's economic governance and management thematic area. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News.
The pre-sentencing hearing for Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu, who were convicted of fraud, has been set for this Wednesday ahead of the sentencing on a day to be determined by the court.
We are closely monitoring the case of Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu, who were convicted of defrauding government of $7 million in a tender scam, which they used forged documents to win a tender which allowed them to provide goods for the presidential goods pass-on scheme. So after their conviction, they are now waiting for their sentencing. But before their sentencing can be done, they are supposed to go through a pre-sentencing hearing. And this pre-sentencing hearing was supposed to be done today, but it was further postponed to Wednesday. What happened was that the defense made an application in the morning to say that they want a full written judgment by Justice Pisrai Kwenda of the conviction, of which that application was dismissed. The defense went on to make yet another application to seek leave to go and appeal to the Supreme Court. But Justice Kwenda said that he could not give them that leave to go and appeal to the Supreme Court, and he postponed the matter to Wednesday. However, the defense says that they are still going to go to the Supreme Court tomorrow to see whether they are going to be given the relief that they are seeking from the Supreme Court. The pre-sentencing hearing is a very important component in the new sentencing guidelines because it gives both the state and the defense an opportunity to argue their case further, to say whether the convicted people should be given a lenient sentence or a lengthy custodial sentence, of which the state is seeking for a lengthy custodial sentence, even vying for the 20-year jail term. And so the pre-sentencing hearing has been set for Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we are going to see whether the pre-sentencing hearing will kick off or it will also be further delayed by yet other applications that the defense might be making.
Well, the news will now take a break. Remember, you can interact with us on our social media platforms and on our website on www.zbcnews.co.zw. But we also take a look and expect the following news within the bulletin. In sport, Zimbabwe intensify preparations for the T20 World Cup to be played in Pakistan this Tuesday. Well, that's what you can expect later on. But for now, the news will take a break. Returning with more. Don't go away.
Zimbabwe inhaka yedu. Zimbabwe is our heritage. This first season is the right time to travel.
Local is local.
Zimbabwe 2025, #1 destination in the world, according to Forbes magazine. This festive season, travel local and experience our heritage. Zimbabwe, inhaka yedu, ilifa letu. Experience Zimbabwe. Zimbo.
Christmas is coming to town. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to shop at TMP and Pay. Hey. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Christmas time is here again at TMP and Pay. Dashing through the aisles, specials all around. Wow.
Sharing a ride to another city used to be my way. With InDrive City to City, it's my way. I choose my pickup and drop off, my price, my driver, and pay for just one seat. Share rides your way.
Welcome to Anafi High School, a center of excellence, discipline, and character where every learner is guided with wisdom and shaped for success. Located in Concession Mazoe, our doors are opening January 2026, and we're now enrolling Forms 1, 2, 3, and Lower 6. Our Cambridge curriculum is delivered through modern classrooms and advanced science and computer labs, with boarding facilities that redefine student living. Give your child the foundation to excel. Contact us on the details below or visit anafihigh.com to begin your enrollment today.
The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe would like to warn all motorists and passengers against overloading, as this can lead to loss of life and premature death. Overloading can cause instability to the vehicle, thereby making it harder to steer, whether on straight roads, bends, or when it hits a pothole. Say no to overloading. You never know, the life you save might be your own. This message was brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe, TSCZ, keeping Zimbabwe's roads safe.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The ruling ZANU-PF party's feedback meetings on the National People's Conference resolutions have seen the call for the extension of President Emmerson Mnangagwa's term of office receive an endorsement from Manicaland Province as well as Mashonaland West Province.
ZANU-PF inter-district meetings across Manicaland Province continue to see public support for the ruling party's conference resolution on the extension of President Emmerson Mnangagwa's term of office.
Takatambira zvavakatituma kuenda nazvo kuconference, so tadzoka nazvo tikavaudza kuti zvavakakumbira kuti president vaenderere mberi and beyond 2030 and beyond zvakagashirwa.
The provincial party leadership added its voice, adding that the resolution reflects the voice of the people.
So as Manicaland Women's League, tiri kufara nokuti resolution number 1 iri kutambirwa zvakanaka Manicaland yese. Tiri kutenderera tichipa feedback yema-resolutions epa conference, National People's Conference. And resolution number 1 yekuti 2030 President Mnangagwa vanenge vachitonga.
The inter-district engagements will continue across the province as the ZANU-PF mobilizes support and reinforces its developmental messaging.
The meeting brought together senior party officials who underscored the need for unity, discipline and productivity. Guest speaker and Central Committee member Dr. Kudata Gwirei took time to unpack the successes of the land tenure program, describing it as a cornerstone for agricultural transformation, investor confidence and long-term land security for beneficiaries.
Evaluate land yese payakapedza kuevaluate. Takaiona kuti after 20 years inenge iri worth $16.9 billion. Saka ma-title deeds ese paachaissuiwa ndo mari inenge iriko. Before this, takati sina kuisa value muland yedu. Saka pamuri kupiwa land, maakupiwa chinhu chinonzi chii? Ndokusaka tichiti pamberi nemari muhomwe. Nokuti kana usina title deed, hauna mari muhomwe.
Provincial Chairperson Comrade Mary Mliswa commended Mashonaland West delegates for maintaining discipline and unity during the National People's Conference.
Kuenda kwatakaita kuManicaland takangata nzitise ma-resolutions. Isusu seMash West tikati resolution number 1 yekuti baba vedu vaMnangagwa varambe vari muofisi vachititungamirira kusvika 2030 takaiindosa.
Politburo member Comrade Ziyambi Ziyambi urged party members to seize the opportunities created by government and the ruling party, particularly through effective land utilization.
Ma-presidential inputs haasi ekuti muite hurudza. Ndosaka manzwa paya pazvichitaurwa kuti president kuti uite hurudza vabva vauya nechirongwa kuburikidza neministry yeagriculture chema-booster kits e-irrigation anokwanisa kudiridzira panguva imwe chete ehekta. Kune dzimwe nyika anonzi mapurazi makuru mamwe ma30 hectares tinowana pundutso.
Paikuda mashoko akawanda itaurika vamwe vaitaura zvavasingazi kuti tizowina ma-elections and ndakutaura for the first time in public at 2013 munhu watakamira naye achitidzigira tiri kukomizarieti isusu tiwane fuel tiwane mari yekufambisa ndavatakwirei. Ataienda kunozvitaurira mumanewspaper.
Meanwhile, the Provincial Coordinating Committee PCC session ended on a high note after Dr. Tagwirei pledged 100,000 United States dollars towards the rehabilitation of Bankit Hospital, a gesture that was warmly welcomed by the provincial leadership.
The Public Service Commission is engaging tertiary education institutions on the expectation of the local industry amid efforts by government to bridge the gap between technical capabilities versus the needs of the industry.
The 11th Public Service Commission Chairperson's public lecture at the National University of Science and Technology, NUST, in Bulawayo this Monday drew participants from heads of departments, public service senior management, the academia, as well as students from tertiary institutions. Titled Integrating Digital Governance and AI in Co-Creating a Smart Public Sphere, the lecture unpacked how employment demands have evolved over time. Public Service Commissioner Professor Carol Kombe, who stood in for Chairperson Dr. Vincent Ungwe, said collaborating with institutions will help turn academic projects into public service solutions.
We're looking at a situation where we collaborate on curriculum alignment. There must be a way of intelligence sharing between NUST and the Public Service Commission. Your VC is already on that step because he is part of our academy. But what more can we do so that we continuously know what the big employer requires?
NUST Vice Chancellor Professor Mkhele Dlodlo commended the public service for engaging with tertiary institutions on the policy direction driven by AI in governance issues.
Today's gathering is more than an academic exercise. It is a call to action. Around the world, governments are reimagining how they serve citizens by harnessing the transformative power of digital governance and artificial intelligence in an integrated manner. A smart public service is not simply about efficiency or automation. It is about creating systems that are responsive, inclusive, and transparent.
The Public Service Commission normally engages with stakeholders as a way of gathering stakeholder input, influencing the employment sector. Mthokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
A major breakthrough in industrial rehabilitation of rural areas is taking shape in Chivi, where government and its partners established a 50-hectare irrigation scheme which has enabled farmers to produce crops all year round and boost incomes.
For years, villagers in Gororo area of Chivi South have been battling food shortages and unpredictable rainfall. However, their situation has changed after the establishment of a new irrigation scheme that is transforming lives. The scheme, which started operating in January this year, is a product of a partnership between government, the United Nations Development Programme, and other development partners, drawing water from Tugwimukosi Dam, thereby unlocking vast agricultural potential for the Gororo community.
Nzvimbo ino yatova a bread basket of Chivi district. Mvura iyi yanga ichiinda kusugar industry kuchiredzi Lowveld, asi izvezvi takuisenzesa.
Tasimukira as semafamasi, upenyu hwevanhu hwavandudzika. Mvura takungoti padhuze dhuze totoenda takuvhurawo tepi. Tatisinga taingoti inovhurwa kunana masvingo kupi, asi ino takuvhura kuno kumusha.
Nyangovhunza baba kuti mari yechigayo handivabvunzi, ndotora mugoma wabagoni kana mugore mogorosi ndotengesa ndoenda kuchigayo.
Chairperson of the scheme, Mr. David Madzivire, said farmers have already recorded remarkable output from the project.
Izvozvi tine chibage chamuri kuona ichi, then tine beans Michigan contract farming, tine chili yatakarima contract farming.
Agriculture extension worker Ms. Semai Napara, who has been working closely with the farmers, said the scheme has strengthened resilience in the face of climate shocks.
Kuzve climate change kuno kwa Gororo hatichanyanyi kudemba kutarisa mvura yemudenga, isi tine madiridziro. Tiri kutarisira kuti pakufamba kwenguva ticharima zvinhu zvakawanda.
Acting District Development Coordinator for Chivi, Ms. Memory Tumbe, said the initiative supports government's thrust of rural industrialization and inclusive development.
Chirongwa chiri kufambirana nomuono wenyika weVision 2030 kuti hakuna nzvimbo kana munhu anofanira kusara kumashure. Takanangana nokuti munhu wese ange achivandudzika upenyu hwake, tichitarisa donzo rokuti tinoda kuachieve yatinoti an upper middle income status by the year 2030.
As the country continues rolling out agricultural empowerment programs, the Gororo success story stands as an example of how partnerships, innovation, and smart water use can propel rural communities. May Smartina, ZBC News, Chivi.
Government has rallied investors to capitalize on tax exemptions, VAT deferments, and reduced license fees by implementing renewable energy projects.
An energy sector engagement held in Kwekwe this Monday brought together government officials, heads of parastatals, and other stakeholders. In his address, the Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable Julaimo, said the introduction of tax exemptions, VAT deferments, and reduced license fees by government was meant to drive more investments to the sector.
We have already de-risked by working together with the Ministry of Mines to say those who want to enter into energy sector projects, we give them government project support agreement where they are given tax incentives, tax holidays, when they bring equipment is duty-free, and all this we are doing in order to de-risk. We also have promised them through the Reserve Bank that if they want to pay for their loans in foreign currency and their dividends in foreign currency, that has been provided.
In a move aimed at supporting the envisaged upper middle income society by 2030, the Midlands province has reiterated its commitment to support energy and power projects in the province.
The strategies formulated here should accelerate achievement of tangible outcomes that advance our national development agenda. As the Midlands province, we reaffirm our commitment to supporting the ministry's programs and projects in the province and to the working collectively with you in advancing the national energy agenda.
Over 100 independent power producers, IPP, have been licensed since 2010, with government having also introduced a net metering system to pay producers that are feeding excess power into the national grid. Karajushe, ZBC News, Kwekwe.
4 people died while several others were injured when a Munenja bus was involved in a road traffic accident near Rutenga Growth Point along the Beitbridge Masvingo Highway this Sunday. The bodies of the deceased were taken to Nashuro Hospital mortuary. Zimbabwe Public Police National Spokesperson Commissioner Paul Nyati confirmed the incident, saying the cross-border bus was coming from Harare and headed for Cape Town, South Africa.
The police confirms that investigations are being conducted in connection with a fatal road traffic accident involving a Munenja bus which was bound for South Africa. The accident occurred yesterday at around 17:20 hours along Masvingo Beitbridge Road. And we wanted to urge Zimbabweans, particularly this festive season, that the roads are slippery. Drivers should exercise caution. Drivers should make sure that the vehicles which they are driving, they are certified fit to be carrying people from one area to another, and also the vehicles are regularly checked for any defects, and above all for drivers to avoid the speeding, because it is also affecting the way people are moving on the country's roads.
All drivers and road users are asked to practice due caution as they travel on the roads. While the news now crosses over to our Pocket Hill News Desk. Zane, over to you. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibukele, and thank you to the crew in Montrose for taking us through with the stretch in the reports. We bring it back to our Pocket Hill studios, where we do continue with the news. As the festive season approaches, the National Blood Service Zimbabwe has launched its 2025 holiday blood donation campaign, targeting to collect nearly 8,000 units of blood. Let's take a look.
Here at the National Blood Service Zimbabwe headquarters, the 2025 festive season campaign has kicked off with a call that rings louder than any Christmas bell. Jingle all the way to the blood bank. Every December, Zimbabwe sees an increased demand for blood because of heightened travel, road accidents, celebrations, and medical emergencies. Yet this is also the period when supplies become strained as schools close and many of the country's youth donors, the biggest donor base, disperse across the country.
We are counting on you as the Republic of Zimbabwe to come together to share the gift of life, the gift that keeps on giving, which is the gift of life. So our campaign this year is actually hinged on joy, generosity, and life-giving action. That's why we are saying jingle all the way to the blood bank. We want every Zimbabwean to know that by giving blood, they're giving the most precious gift of all, a gift which is a part of themselves, a gift of life.
ZBC News also got a chance to speak to Mr. Taura Ndoro, a regular blood donor, who urged other people out there to partake in this selfless act of love.
It gives me so much pleasure in donating blood, knowing that the recipient are not known to me, and it's unlike giving a donation to someone whom everybody will celebrate. I would appeal to fellow members to donate blood, because blood is required childbirth, accidents, particularly this festive season.
As Zimbabwe prepares for the holiday season, the message from the National Blood Service Zimbabwe is clear. Before unwrapping Christmas gifts or traveling for the holidays, take a trip to the blood bank, donate blood, and save lives. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
The Harare City Council has once again come under fire for failing to repair the drainage system after the capital turned into a maze of waterlogged streets. Peter Chivima reports.
The rains that fell across Harare this Monday exposed the Harare City Council's inefficiencies and the lack of preparedness, as several areas were left submerged in water due to blocked drainage systems. Residents and commuters who spoke to this news group expressed their frustration.
Haasi kuserviswa marara arongopinda achibloka. Nhasi chaenda toti ndibvise boots kuti ndikwanise kucrossa imwe road uku. Mvura iri muri flooded.
Tati kutotadza kufamba nenyaya mvura iri kuzara maroad mese. Saka vamwe vakutodona kana motikari hadzisi kufamba zvakanaka.
Apa pane drain ratombodona vanhu vechikuru vamwe vachona zvototi munotonzwa tsitsi. Vanhu vari kudona musuno sewage rakaputika, then mvura yanga isisafambe sewage because drain rakavhara.
Saka taikumbirawo semhuri yeZimbabwe kuti vanhu veCity Council vatore strict measures to deal neishu yemadrein.
Council ngaisawandira pakubata mavhenda ngaimbogadzirwa madrein tasemunhu zvakaita marodzi hapana kana drainage isisi muri kushanda apa.
Transport operators also voiced their concerns.
As operators, we are not happy about infrastructure iri parengi pedu. Look, kumashure kwangu hakuna masheds. Tine vana vadiki, tine vanhu vakuru vari kungonaiwa. We are urging City of Harare kuti please problems edu anyanya kuwandisa. Drainage system hapana.
Despite these repeated calls for action, the Harare City Council appears indifferent, having promised to respond to questions raised by this news crew, a promise that was never fulfilled. The flooding comes at a time when the Harare City Council is already grappling with erratic refuse collection, pothole-riddled roads, and widespread water shortages. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The main news takes a breather. We'll be back with you shortly.
Santa, all I want this holiday
is special family time.
Whenever you come around family, you can find love.
To go on an adventure.
Tickets to every game.
Some giggles.
And a puppy.
Let's go!
Yippee!
This holiday, simply stay connected and get all you want on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Vanoda valisi itai aye varimi vese itai aye vanoda go itai aye simuza go rako kurumiza nogona kungoti oyo vavalisi pada moyo vanyai vana maina na baba kurumiza mbeu kwayo ri kuvalisitsi airowe nezvifukuto kana tsikitsi kana zvirwere ende nokupa harvest apa ndiri kurevesa very honest nevalisitsi itai aye varimi vese itai aye vanoda go.
Mwaka uno tenga mbeu yako ku Valley Seeds usimudze goho rako. Valley Seeds vauchiki vembeu yechibage yepana nePioneer, Goros, ma-traditional grains nema-vegetable seeds ose anopa goho repamsorosoro. Valley Seeds, where farming meets the farmer.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Zimbabwe's participation at the Miss Universe 2025 pageant has gained fresh momentum with the arrival of Miss Universe Zimbabwe board chairperson Colonel Minotaba Chiwenga in Thailand this Monday. Let's take a look at the following report.
Miss Universe Zimbabwe board members received a warm welcome after landing in Bangkok to strengthen Zimbabwe's presence on the global pageant stage. For Zimbabwe, this week is more than a competition, but is also about reinforcing the country's visibility.
We just arrived in Thailand, Bangkok today to support Miss Universe Zimbabwe 2025 Lishanda Moyers. For those who have been following, we only came back in 2022 after 22 years of being out of the pageant. We all know that because of the sanctions, Zimbabwe withdrew from a lot of activities internationally. But during the year 2022, we came back at the international stage. So this is very important because when our girl walks on the stage, everybody is seeing Zimbabwe and that brand is very visible.
They were received by the Deputy Head of Mission at the Embassy of Zimbabwe in Malaysia, Mr. Ishano Parufu, and the Assistant to the Consulate General of Zimbabwe, Ms. Sakuna Rajapanik.
I'm very excited that there is beautiful women from Zimbabwe to join in this big event in Bangkok. And I hope she will get a very good experience here.
This visit comes as Lashanda intensifies her preparations for Wednesday's national costume and preliminary competitions, moments that will shape her journey to the final.
As far as me as an individual goes, I am super excited, getting a little bit nervous because we're almost at the end of our race, but I know I stand strong and I stand sure in where I am and what I am bringing home.
With preliminaries days away, this show of support is expected to bolster Lashanda as she steps onto the world stage, which culminates with the crowning of Miss Universe on the 21st of this month. Patience Nyagado, SABC News, Bangkok.
Zimbabwe's creative landscape is embracing artificial intelligence, AI, with the emergence of the country's first AI female artist, Anesu Ibwe, blending cutting-edge technology with authentic Zimbabwean sounds and cultural identity.
The innovative AI artist represents a fusion of traditional Zimbabwean music and modern technology, creating a unique sound while maintaining authentic cultural roots.
My songs that I released so far represent who I am. Ndishikuda reflects my gentle emotional side. While Kungechugure taps into culture, Inembira, Holsho, drums, Zigure, just raw Zimbabwean energy. Ndirukufarira experimenta with different genres and fusing strong cultural elements and visuals that are modern yet deeply connected to Zimbabwean identity.
Producer Tawanda Sibochiwe, popularly referred to as Jusa Demento, who is known for working with major artists like Winky D and Busy Signal, explained the creative process behind the development of Zimbabwe's first AI artist, highlighting both the similarities and differences in working with AI versus human performers.
Shandana Anesu, she's an artificial intelligence artist. Saka, it's a creation out of my own imagination. However, pandino Shandana Winky na Busy Signal. Vanengwaine an idea, and then I create magic out of it. Changosiana is Anesu is a creation young.
This groundbreaking development in Zimbabwe's music industry demonstrates the creative economy's steps in embracing technological innovation while preserving cultural heritage. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, artificial intelligence indeed is the future. The main news takes a breather. We'll be back shortly with Anna Murombedzi on the Sports Corner.
Santa, all I want this holiday
is special family time.
Whenever you come around family, you can find love.
To go on an adventure.
Tickets to every game.
Some giggles.
And a puppy.
Let's go!
Yippee!
This holiday, simply stay connected and get all you want on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Sharing a ride to another city used to be my way. With InDrive City to City, it's my way. I choose my pickup and drop off, my price, my driver, and pay for just one seat. Share rides your way.
Zim Digital set-top boxes, decoders with all the 7 local television channels and 6 national radio stations are now available for sale. The decoder will give viewers access to ZBC Jive TV, ZBC News, ZBC TV, ZTN Prime, Pre-K TV, Kiona TV, NRTV. No subscription is needed as all the channels are free to view. For $25 or the Zig equivalent, the decoder comes with a cable plus indoor and outdoor antenna. The decoders are available at the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe, BAZ, Transmedia, and all the TV broadcasters.
Drug and substance abuse leads to serious health problems, financial troubles,
accidents, injuries, relationship issues, and
is a crime.
Are you struggling with drug and substance abuse?
Do you know someone who is struggling with drug and substance abuse related addiction?
Get assistance. Call now on the Drug and Substance Abuse Unit toll-free number
0801 4424.
For all mental health challenges, please call toll-free number 2024.
Don't let drugs control your life. Seek help and start your journey to recovery today.
From the east to the west, the north to the south, Makuru never did your voice, your ZBC-TV. We are the leading station, Zimbabwe's #1. We'll always be the one. ZBC-TV. Toita Jamataura, Tinabuta Shibasheng, Pawende Nakaya. ZBC-TV. Supporting local content.
ZBC TV, your voice, your choice.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anna Shamrambed's here with the latest in the world of sport. Zimbabwe are geared up to face Pakistan in Rawalpindi this Tuesday in a T20 Tri-Series opener that also features Sri Lanka.
The Chevrons step into the T20 series in Pakistan with the familiar blend of optimism and caution. The assignment is tough. Pakistan at home is one of cricket's hardest exams, and Sri Lanka adds another layer to a contest that will test Zimbabwe's depth and temperament in the shortest format ahead of the T20 World Cup. Zimbabwe opened their campaign this Tuesday against the hosts, a fixture that always carries a bit of emotional weight. Encounters between Zimbabwe and Pakistan stretch back to the early 90s, and while Pakistan have dominated the head-to-head record, the rivalry has produced unforgettable moments. There was the famous 1998 win in Peshawar when Mary Goodwin and Alistair Campbell anchored a historic test victory. More recently, Zimbabwe stunned Pakistan in Rawalpindi with a super over triumph, a reminder that on their day, the Chevrons can trouble anyone. This time, the Zimbabwean squad arrives with a point to prove and fine-tuning for the World Cup. Brian Bennett will once again be expected to play a key role at the top of the order. However, his partners have not been consistent, and the Chevrons will look to sort that out. Sikandar Raza has led the mid-order with distinction. However, the bowling unit will be missing stalwart Blessing Zarabani, who's down with a back injury. History favor Pakistan, but Zimbabwe have played some of their best cricket against the Asians. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Finally, good news. Zimbabwe's Warriors finally came to party in Doha after securing a 2-1 victory over Qatar in an international friendly match at the Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium this Monday evening. Manashe Garanganga's superb header leveled the score at 1-0, and Bill Antonio's 74th minute strike sealed the win. This impressive performance comes just 4 days after Zimbabwe's 3-1 loss to Algeria and Saudi Arabia. The Warriors are gearing up for the 2025 AFCON tournament set for Morocco next month. Now, their female counterparts, Zimbabwe's Mighty Warriors, have kicked off their training camp in Harare this Monday ahead of the upcoming three-nation tournament set for Lilongwe in Malawi. The team, led by head coach Sitetelo Respanda, is working with a group of 30 players, which will be trimmed to 23 before departure for Lilongwe. The tournament will now feature three nations after South Africa's withdrawal. Zimbabwe will now compete against the host Malawi and Zambia at Bingo National Stadium from the 29th of this month to the 2nd of December. This marks their return to action since the Africa Women's Cup of Nations in February. The Mighty Warriors are determined to make a strong comeback, taking on the two top regions sides. That's it from the Sports Corner. Let's take you back to Zane and Joyce.
Thank you for the update, Anashe. All that caps tonight's bulletin from the crew behind the scenes and all of us here. Good night.
Good night.